When I bring a new puppy home, there are a lot of things I don't do in the first week, and those are just as important as the things I do focus on. In this video, I'll show you how a few simple games can turn those first days into calm, productive learning instead of chaos. If you've just brought a new puppy home, it can feel really overwhelming. There's so much advice out there about what you should be doing, like training, socializing, teaching behaviors, and it's really easy to feel like, oh, this is just too much. I'm Gisela Griesser. I'm a professional dog trainer and behavior consultant. In this series, I'm sharing how I'm raising Josie, my own little puppy, step by step, how to become a confident, happy, well-rounded dog. In this video, I'll walk you through what I focus on in the first week and what I intentionally don't do. And I'll show you simple training games that build valuable life skills right from the start. Let's jump right in and look at the first game. It's called Over and Under. So we're playing a little game here. I call it Over and Under. Josie is just a little bit over 8 weeks old. And I want her to have the confidence to come close into my space. That is really important when we work on recalls, leash walking, or even simple things like putting a collar on or a leash, that the dogs are comfortable to move into our space. Otherwise, we have these dogs that are just always at arm's length. So I'm doing some super simple luring. She started the game by stepping on me here. And trust me, this does not encourage dogs jumping up because I'm inviting her. I've got little bits of food in my hand. And I'm just inviting her to step on me and over top of me. There you go. Here. At the same time, she's also learning to follow food in my hand. This is completely new for her. Good. Let's try an under. There you go. Good job. He's like, oh, I like it under there. Let's try another one. I want to go over. Now we can be totally flexible. Just go with what your puppy offers and what they're comfortable with. Do they like to take the food out of your hand, or do they like it better when you pop it on the ground? If your pup's a little bit older, this might look very different. But it's a great way to grow your dog's optimism and confidence. Yeah, I'm just going to place it far enough that she has to go all the way through, or I can place multiple pieces. She seems to like it when I put the food on the ground. Okay, we'll end on one more over. Job. Good. Also, you're learning to use your body. Yeah, we're going to do more of these little sessions. And all she's doing, having a little snack here. This is part of her daily food. And we're just investing is to grow the concept of proximity and confidence. And I hope you'll have some fun with your pups. So let's talk about some of the things that I do focus on. The first thing is just getting to know each other and settling in a new environment. Puppies come away from his litter mate, so everything is new. Then potty training is a big deal. I've created the video, it's number 2 in the series. And there are 7 top tips to help you with your puppy's potty training. I will put a link in the description below. Consistency is key. It's a work in progress with Josie, but we are persevering. We're also working on crate training. She does cry at times. She's not quite bought into it, but we're just kind of continuing building value for the crate. And I try to do at least once a day a little training session where we're doing in and out like I'm showing in the other video. And if it's not negotiable, if she has to go in, I just kind of pick her up and put her in, put some value in the back of the crate. Josie's proving to a little bit more challenging than some of my other puppies have been. We just have to persevere and not give up. And then we were playing some easy win games. Did your puppy enjoy the over and under? Did you try this? I'll have a couple more that I'll share with you, but it's all about setting puppies up so it's easy, they're always winning, which makes them feel confident and full of themselves. And we're also building a relationship by investing some of our puppies' daily food into playing those games together. And maybe the most important one is that calmness is a lifestyle. Puppies sometimes want to get a little bit more crazy than we would like to in our house. And here's a question for you. Is your puppy wearing pajamas or disco pants? I want my pups, all of my dogs, to wear pajamas in the house. And it starts from day one, just kind of growing that calmness, which often means redirecting. I've posted a shorts video with Josie's very first boundary game session, and this bed is right next to my couch where I watch TV, and by now she comes over there quite often and just lies down, and I have treats ready in a closed container where she can't get to, but I can easily grab some and just reward her for the good choice of getting onto a bed, because this is where calmness starts. As much as possible, we want to just grow calmness. There's no point in trying to tire your puppy out and then they're going to sleep, because they're going to get up and just want to get back into the hurry up and go kind of state of mind. And I live with 4 border collies, have for many years, and my house is very calm, but this is just because we practice being calm in the house. So let's look at the next game. It's called Follow the Food. And I would love to hear from you if you can post in the comments if you tried the games and how your puppy enjoyed this. So another game that I like to teach early on is food follow. So I've got a piece of food under my thumb and I'm just moving my hand away from her. And as soon as she follows, she gets to have it. We're making this super easy. But this is such a great skill that we're going to build on with other games. And it's not about luring. It's about teaching your puppy to follow your hand. And that's going to make it easy if you have to move them sometime. You got it. And I want to move slowly enough that she can follow. So if I kind of go like this, then, well, she caught up with it. But that's already making it a lot harder. We want all these early games to be super easy. When we set up our puppies to win all the time, they're going to become more confident and more optimistic, and they're just seeing opportunities everywhere. And this is just a little snack for her. We don't have to use any extra food. This is just what she gets anyhow. Good. So I just moved a little bit faster. She wasn't quite connected with my hand, but she was following my hand really nicely. And a couple of steps like that is plenty for a young puppy at this age. So have some fun with that. So let's talk about a couple of things I don't focus on, especially in the first week. One of them is leash training. I'm just picking my battles, and when puppies are really young, I have a fenced yard, so I just let them out there to potty, and she can move around a little bit and have some outside time. The weather's nice right now, but I don't make it about the leash. We're going to focus on that later on. And with that, because we haven't trained a leash, I'm also not going for walks. It could be really overwhelming to take your dog out into the world and potentially meeting other dogs. I'm very picky who my young puppies get to meet, especially when it comes to other dogs. Josie has met my own dogs, and they're working out how to get along. Some of them find her annoying, and Davey's actually coming around to enjoying playing with her, which is awesome. But I don't let her interact a lot with other dogs because I don't want to risk any unpleasant encounters for her. So I'm really protecting my dog's optimism here. Another thing I don't do anymore early on is teaching my puppies to sit. There's 2 reasons for that. One is the physiological aspect, that young puppies do not have the muscle strength to sit straight and properly. And all they do is, if we repeat that a lot, they're going to rehearse sitting crooked, and that's not good for them. And the second reason is from a training perspective. If I teach my dog that whenever you're not sure what to do, just do a sit and I'm going to reward that, then I'm restricting other options, and I'm focusing on teaching my dogs to make better choices. So maybe instead of sitting in front of me, I would rather have her move over to the bed that is right on my side and lie down there. And if all they can do is sit about bum down and I get a cookie, then it's very restrictive when we get into training a variety of behaviors. So there's time for that later on. I'm also not taking my puppy to a lot of new places. She hasn't had her second set of vaccinations yet. So we're kind of keeping her world fairly small at this point. And most importantly, what I mentioned earlier, don't try to tire out your puppy to get some rest time. Teach him that calmness is a lifestyle early on, and that's what we use the boundary games for, and any other games. And these games can be, they don't have to be physically tiring, but they can be mentally tiring by doing, different things. And another great game for that is the next game, which is called a noisy box. A game I like to start early on with my puppies because it's such a great confidence builder. It's called the noise box. So this is a super easy version where we're using something that's not very noisy, and she's never played this before, but she's a very confident puppy. So she's already getting started without me. And what we want to encourage is for them to just pick up the pieces of food that we throw inside there. And at some point, they're going to have to maybe move one of those rolls around. You can even have something non-slip inside. If the puppy steps inside the box, all the better. That's awesome. Good job. But I'm not making her do this. This is her choice. And she's just exploring. We can start out with an empty box if that's what your puppy needs. And we're going to throw one piece away. Okay. Encourage her to leave, and then she can choose to come back. See, and I didn't start throwing food in until she actually came back and re-engaged. Put a piece inside here. We'll see if she manages to get this out. Good job. Then I can add a couple more. We're making this more difficult very quickly because she's just a very confident puppy. But you gotta progress at your puppy stage and whatever they're comfortable with. If they'll play with an empty box for a couple of times and just popping some bits of food in there, and your puppy's gonna stick their nose in and grab it, maybe they put a paw in, that's a great start. And this is also fun for adult dogs. So if this was easy with the paper rolls, we're gonna try this with something different. Got a little bigger box. Make sure it's appropriate so it's easy for your dog puppy to step in here. And I'm gonna release her out. Good, we're good with that. Always testing. Is your puppy comfortable with this? And then we're gonna change it up. How about I put some pop bottles in there? Keep adding food, and she doesn't have to be in there. If your puppy's happy outside the box, just sticking their nose in to grab the food. We'll have more here. Just add some more stuff. So this is more noisy. They're also a little bit different texture. I take all the caps off so there's nothing in there that even if they grab a bottle that they can't swallow anything. Good. I'm going to release. And we want to do these frequent releases so puppy doesn't feel like they have to stay in there. It's like, come on, get me, up. Get me, puppy. Hey, Josie. Good. So I want to release her out, and then we'll add a little bit more. We can do this very gradually. I like how she re-engages before I even add food to it. So you can see this is pure choice and curiosity, exploring something. It's not because she really wants the food. You might see a puppy that kind of really wants the food, but they're afraid to step in there. Then that's the time where you might get super easy for them until they really just want to like jump in there and have some fun. Good job. Good. just playing games like this for my puppy's breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever the time of day is. But this is just how they get to work for their food. And they love doing that. Good. And when we're done with this all goes away. I don't leave it out, so there's nothing that they can chew it up or shred the box. So this just comes out when we have some interactions together. Good. And there was no more food. Well, there was a bit of food left, but she left. And maybe that's a sign that, okay, I'm good for now. That's a good enough session here. It doesn't have to be long. We're in it for the fun time, not for the long time. So the first week with a new puppy isn't really about doing much. It's about creating the right environment and habits so your puppy can feel safe, calm, and ready to learn. When we focus on simple foundations instead of trying to do everything at once, everything's going to get easier down the road. In the next video in the series, I'm going to take you into week 2, where I'll show you why I ditched the bowl and how to use your puppy's daily meals for enrichment. And also we're going to talk about puppy zoomies. And I'll share a few new games to support calm behavior and developing confidence. If you want to keep following along as Josie grows and learn how to raise a confident, happy puppy step by step, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.